Good Wednesday morning. Meteorologist Henry Blakes here, and thanks for tuning in for your WFB First Alert Weather Extra. It has been a little bit on the cooler and chillier side across the area. That's due to a cold front that moved through the other day. And as that colder air settles in, we're going to feel the difference today and continuing at least through the weekend. Let's take a look outdoors. This is our Sky 9 camera at the Hurricane Hole in Grand Isle. This is the only camera that you will find along the coast. And as we can see, looking at a bit of cloud cover out there, the water's not all that bad and choppy, but even inland, our conditions are looking on the decent side across the area, just a little bit on the cooler side, that is. 66 degrees in Baton Rouge, Gonzales, low 60s for Macomb, mid 60s across the south. And for the way things are looking right now with colder air settling in, temperatures really aren't going to rise all that much as we go throughout the rest of the day. So you are going to need to keep the jackets on and with you throughout your Wednesday. Looking at the rest of the nation, lots of blue on the map. That is colder air pushing in for the south. Notice Bismarck, North Dakota at 17. Minneapolis up to 28 degrees only in the Twin Cities. And with the way we are looking at our conditions, that colder air will continue pushing farther south, not just for tonight, but into your Thanksgiving as well. So we're not done with the cool weather for the long term. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a trend, a cooling trend at that, unlike what we've had over the past several months. Here's that cool front that brought all the little bit of rain that many of us had the other day. That has pushed eastward into Florida and approaching the East Coast. The snowstorm up north that impacted the northern plains, that's pushing into the Great Lakes region, likely to dump several inches of snow, gusty wind, and that's going to make way for pretty hectic travel conditions, but high pressure across the south, that's going to keep us settled for the next few days. This is the travel season, especially today, one of the busier traveler days for the Thanksgiving holiday. And you'll notice as far as any type of winter weather impacts, the worst are going to be around the Great Lake regions where they're going to have the wind and several inches of snow, more snow in the northern parts of the Rockies, but across the rest of the lower 48 looking to be rather decent for travel. So here's your Thanksgiving forecast for the Baton Rouge area. We're going to start out right near 40 degrees for tomorrow morning. We've got the clouds for today. That's going to stick around, but overnight that will gradually clear. That's going to allow us to cool down to the 40s and then only rising likely into the lower 60s for your Thanksgiving Day afternoon. So that's that colder air that's going to be impacting us over the next several days. I want to show you our future cast. This is going to show you mostly the temperatures for today. As I mentioned, don't expect temperatures to rise very much more than they are already at. A couple locations, if you're lucky, may reach the low 70s, but those chances are relatively slim. For tomorrow morning, we're going to be mostly in the 40s. Some of our northern Florida parishes, mainly north of the Baton Rouge area, could reach the upper 30s for tomorrow morning. So a chilly start and then a cool afternoon for your Thanksgiving. So remember, a few of us will be only in the upper 50s. The rest of us lower 60s for Thanksgiving Day. And Black Friday, if anyone's heading out for shopping in the morning, yes, you are going to need to bundle up. 30s, mainly above freezing. I'm not worried about any freezing conditions this time around, but it is going to be right near 40 degrees for Baton Rouge and many locations, even as you get closer to our coastal parishes. So that's why things are going to be on the cooler side again for your Friday afternoon, with highs right near 60 degrees once again. Now, I'll show you future casts again because, well, we've got another big weather system underway. Not necessarily for Thanksgiving, but as we go into the weekend. So for now, high pressure, that's going to keep us on the dry side. Remember, the cloudier for today. We'll have fewer clouds for tomorrow. It's going to be a mainly sunny Thanksgiving Day. High pressure pushes a little farther off to the east. We're going to be on the backside of that system eventually by Friday, and that's going to give us more of an easterly wind. But watch what happens as we go into your weekend. At the end of Friday and into Saturday, we start to get more of a southerly wind. That's going to help bring some more moisture into the area ahead of our next cool front. Here that comes. That's going to be arriving over the weekend and bringing chances for scattered showers to the area. Maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but I think this is going to be mostly a rain event, which is something that we need. At least it's going to be holding off until the weekend. However, Bayou Classic could be a little bit on the wet side and chilly, but Sunday, notice we're looking at the potential for widespread rain across much of Louisiana and South Mississippi. And in this case, this is good news because at the Baton Rouge Airport, we've only picked up 0.13 of an inch of rain for the month of November. So with the way things are right now, we are well more than an inch below normal for the month. This is the 26th. We've got a couple of more days to make up for that deficit. But even if we do somehow manage to get that amount, well, it's not really going to put a dent in the drought conditions. So as of today, 0.13 of an inch at Baton Rouge Metro. Other parts of the parish have received a little more than that, but I want to show you that we are still ranked at second driest November on record for Baton Rouge at that 0.13 of an inch. We got to get to at least 1/4 of an inch. Even if we get at least 1/2 inch, that will at least knock us out of that mark where we are at the top 5. But we will see how that is going to turn out. And I want to show you one last thing as far as from the Weather Prediction Center, because we do have good chances of rain in the forecast, not just for the weekend, but even into the beginning of next week. So for over the next 7 days, this is mainly going to start on Saturday and continue Sunday and into the early part of next week. There is the potential of many of us possibly 2 or more inches of rain, not necessarily all at one time, but over a prolonged period of time over several days. So if we can get that, that would at least give us a little bit of additional accumulating rain across the area. But just want to let you know, no need for the umbrellas for Thanksgiving or Black Friday, just the coats, jackets, or sweaters to keep warm. Over the weekend, Saturday, I'd bring the rain gear just in case, especially if you're heading down to New Orleans. But the better rain chances for now are going to be Sunday into early next week across Southeast Louisiana. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to your WB First Alert Weather Extra, and be sure to watch us at noon as well as this evening for your latest updates, as well as more information on your Thanksgiving and weekend forecast.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down, no payments for 12 months on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.